Hello, my name is Natalia Vodyanova. Would you join me on this walk down memory lane? This is my childhood room in Nizhny Novgorod, a city in western Russia where I was born. As humble as it is, this room is very dear to my heart, and every detail of it stands out so vividly. When I close my eyes, I still remember the creak of these wooden floorboards covered by a large, colorful carpet. Let's bring color to this memory together. I always liked the wallpaper in my room, its sunset pink color and the flowery pattern. As you can see, the wallpaper was modified a bit through the years. We'll come back to that a bit later. All through my teenage years, I slept in a bunk bed, and I wouldn't trade it for any other. Climbing the ladder to the top bunk at the end of a long day felt like an escape to my own world. And my days were long, divided between trying to keep up with multiple subjects at school. Looking after my sister, cooking and house chores, as our mom had to work day and night to keep us going. I started working and saving money very early and managed to set aside a little bit of my earnings. I wanted to buy a pair of jeans that all my schoolmates dreamed about at the time. It never happened, as my mom urgently needed this money. But that, I guess, was my first encounter with fashion, an industry that later changed my life forever and provided a platform from which I could also help others. Our neighbor was a piano teacher. She gave me lessons, and I loved music so much that eventually my mom managed to find me an old wall piano that someone's child didn't want anymore. I still love classical music, and my own children play beautifully. Unfortunately, I couldn't keep it up myself, but maybe one day I will start taking lessons again. I would love that. By now you must have noticed the little girl sitting on the floor, intently at play. This is my younger sister, Oksana. She's all grown up now, but this is how I remember her from my high school days. Oksana was diagnosed with autism much later, but doctors told our mom straight away after birth that Oksana was born with several severe complications and had cerebral palsy. However, to me, she was always just my little sister, different from other children, but whom I loved, and I would never want to change for any other. Oksana occupied the lower bank, and the walls around it were covered by scribbles that surely meant something to her. Above my bed, I had a few framed photographs that reminded me of my favorite place in the world, our great-grandmother's house in sunny Ukraine. Sometimes my grandparents would take us on a long train ride down south to stay with Natalia Mikhailovna for a wonderful summer of feasting on sun, sea, fruit, and fresh vegetables. Oksana had an unusual taste for toys. To a regular person, some of her favorite playthings would seem unsuitable for children at best, and garbage at worst. Of course, she had regular ones too. Most of those inherited from me, like Mishka the teddy bear, or Rolly Polly doll, or a spinning top. But she was especially partial to playing with everyday things that she could find around the house. For example, colorful bottle caps and metal bolts. Sometimes I would come back home to discover to my great distress that my school bag and everything in it had become part of the game. But I couldn't be upset with her for long. She was just too cute with her big eyes full of wonder and her huge, disarming smile. Believe it or not, at some point, when she was still 5, 6 years old, her favorite toys were heavy tools, like wrenches and screwdrivers, and even a hammer. She would cry her eyes out until my mom and I would give up and give those tools to her. Mundane household objects and kitchen utensils always activated Oksana's imagination. She would enjoy them much more than plushies. She also loved flour and pasta, and we had to lock all the kitchen cabinets so she didn't sneak in and grab a pack while we didn't see. She loved making what looked like a huge mess to us. How many times had I found her sitting in front of a pile of clothes mixed with everything else she could find, looking so proud and happy of her achievement. Of course I was annoyed, as I had to clean it up, and upset to see precious food wasted. However, I couldn't help but laugh at her proud and mischievous face. Today I appreciate that what looked like a mess to me was fascinating to my little sister. Her world must be a very interesting place. She taught me to see more things around us and to think outside the box. She also taught me something equally, if not more important: patience and tolerance. It's been an honor to have you as my guest and share my story. I hope that it helped you understand children like Oksana a little bit better and be more considerate when you encounter them. If you are taking care of a special child, I want you to know that I'm proud of you, and that to have a person with special needs in your life is a blessing. Sometimes it just takes thinking outside the box, like they do, to see it.